One.
And hello and welcome everyone to the Comic Multiverse, where the worlds of nerd meet. It's a special Monday edition, everyone. We had Mother's Day this week, which means I couldn't get to the movie until like the last minute to the latest possible showing. So that's why we're doing Monday, and Matt was nice enough to go along with it. So thank you, Matt, and thank you everyone for joining us.
It gave me the chance to actually see the movie again because by the time you saw it, it had been a week since I'd seen the film.
That's right. With crazy Australian time, you get to see it, way before us sometimes.
Yes.
Riv Wilson helping us out in the chat. I'm curious, in what multiverse are Joel and Matt like? Would that be that Matt is Canadian and Joel Australian? Yes, yeah. In the infinite multiverse.
Yes, we switch.
Where all things are possible at all times. That is what we're not evil, we're not dead, we just switch. We just switch nationalities.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. could be worse. But yes, obviously this is our big Multiverse of Madness episode. We're going to be talking about all of that. We're going to be talking about comic news for this week, and hell, we'll even talk about some of the new releases that are coming out this week.
Yeah.
But before we do any of that, how was your week, Matt?
Yeah, not too bad. Been pretty busy. We were talking about just before. We were talking about Elden Ring and everything because you've been playing through that and everything.
I'm at the capital city.
Yeah. The evil capital city. Did you have trouble getting into the capital city because of that?
Yes.
that tree sentinel, that motherfucker.
Well, not even the tree sentinel, because I rode up to what I thought was the door, but I guess it must be the side door because it's locked. And I'm like, okay, I guess I can't get in here. I guess I got to ride back the other way. That's where I left it off. I went to where I thought was the front door, but I guess it's not the front door.
Yeah, no, to get in, there's like a side sort of thing that takes you onto the ramparts, and it's guided by a tree sentinel, one of those guys that's from the starting area,
who fucking bodied you back then. Now
yeah.
He's back bigger.
Yeah, and you've got to beat him to get inside.
Oh, goody. Well, hey, you know what? It's like, going back to your first girlfriend to be like, hey, but look how much I've learned since last time with that asshole. I've respect into arcane. I know spells now. Come at me. Hit you with my decaying breath. That's been my favorite cheese move.
It's
to
just
do immense scarlet rot damage to someone that just ticks them down over time.
Wait till you start getting your FP up a little bit, and then use the Sword of Night and Flames, like the blue beam it can do, because
nice.
you're able to like hold it on.
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah,
so if you line it up perfectly, you can basically kill anything by just holding it on it.
Yeah, I do have the Sword of Night and Flame, and I'm like, the stats on this aren't great, and I don't, have the stats to, like, run it. I'm sure there's a build attached to this that absolutely wrecks, and now you're telling me it does.
Yes.
Well, that's good. Oh, yeah, the chat reminding us, too, it was a sad week in comic news as well, because we lost George Perez finally. He had been battling cancer for a long time, and he finally passed away this week.
Not only him, but as... end of last week we lost Neil Adams as well.
I know, back to back. That's it. Always comes in threes, my mother always says, and I guess it's true.
Yeah.
That's a real shame, but man, the bullpen in heaven must totally kick ass right now. And those books they're working exclusively for the afterlife are probably going to be really great. Is all I can say. He's not really gone, George Perez. He just went to the big Titans tower in the sky.
Yeah.
Hell of a thing that, but yeah, will be missed, definitely. Dude had an amazing, stellar career, and it's really a shame too that when he was gone, we really saw how many people loved him from so many different stratas of entertainment. Everyone knew who he was.
Everyone had a story about how awesome he was and how cool and inviting he was into the industry, and that's just great.
He's remembered the way you hope you would be remembered, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You hope you do a good enough job in this life that when you die, people only have nice things to say.
Yeah.
Because, way too often someone dies and he was a dick and here's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. So R.I.P., man. I guess with that, we can hop over into the news. There's not much of it, and a lot of it is actually following up on stories from last week, if you can believe it.
Yeah, it's good.
So, Free Comic Book Day was this week. I know you didn't get your hands on the books this week, Matt, and neither did I, actually, because I ended up not being able to get out. So if anything big happened, I don't know.
Well, I managed to get Dark Crisis issue 0 because it was up on Comixology or Amazon or whatever the fuck they call it now.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, it was up there for free, so I managed to get hold of that. But I haven't read like the Marvel ones or anything.
I was gonna say, how important was Dark Crisis number 0?
It's kind of like just sets up like what I guess one of the plot points is going to be in that book going forward, like who is going to be the new Justice League.
Right, which I mean we already kind of know from the art, and also because hey, we've been reading DC Comics for the last year, 2 years, and they've been doing a good job telling us, hey, it's the younger heroes we've been setting up.
Yeah.
It's basically everyone John Kent meant in his own book.
Yep. Yeah, everyone from Future State.
Yeah, all those people, which is funny. I remember some guy actually argued with us where it's like, no, I think that's wishful thinking that all these crossovers the John Kent Superman book have had are just set up Dark Crisis in the new League. No, but it obviously is, though.
I saw someone complaining, getting all upset that Nightwing and Jonathan Kent, like there was some art of an issue of Dark Crisis where they're like teaming up to take down a villain or something.
Yeah, they're doing that cool like Christopher Reeves, pull the shirt, reveal the
and
logos,
someone was complaining about like a 35-year-old hanging out with a 17-year-old. I'm like, well, Batman hanging out with like 9-year-olds
literally invented the kid's sidekick genre. Let me tell you about most of the superhero world, dummy.
Not only that Nightwing had like a whole arc where it was set up that he was going to be Superman's mentor.
Yeah, which is cool because Nightwing, obviously, if you know your history, comes from a Kryptonian legend. So isn't that a cool bit of circularness?
Yeah.
I saw one asshole who I banned right away from my Dark Crisis video. He's like, oh, yeah, they're dead now. Bring on the Rainbow League, I guess. I'm like, okay, so obviously you're being disparaging to gay people, so fuck you, calling them rainbow people. But also, have you not read a comic? Do you not see the Justice League? They've always been a rainbow, you asshole. It's nice to know you're both ignorant and shitty at the same time. You must be a big hit at parties, I tell ya. But yeah, so we got that to look forward to. But one of the bigger stories from Free Comic Book Day, the whole reason I kicked this off is we finally know what Spider-Man Dark Web is going to be.
Yes.
It's going to feature the return of Chasm, Ben Reilly in his new villainous form that I know we still weren't 100% sure how we felt about from the end of Spider-Man Beyond, but he is indeed coming back.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't forget about him. He's going to be headlining a whole new story, even if it isn't in an antagonistic role. Mm-hmm. But he's also going to be teaming up with the Goblin Queen, Madeline Pryor.
Kind of thought that was going to happen. Like these new characters who we really haven't seen a lot of. Were going to come back together in some way.
Also, too, hey, one's a clone of Peter Parker, one's a clone of Jean Grey, both villains. That's actually super clever.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
It also means we get to see Spider-Man characters, no doubt, crossing over with X-Men-centric characters, which has not happened in a long time.
Seldom happens, yeah.
Seldom happens indeed. So, maybe they could actually make this one kind of cool and kind of worth it and make some lemonade out of lemons. There were rumors, too, apparently, some art someone saw there. Apparently, Mary Jane is actually going to be at the Hellfire Gala, but no one knows who she's a guest of yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I know Mark Brooks was doing, like, some art. Some just fan art of, like, what would these really characters wear? Yeah, it was excellent.
But apparently she might actually be there.
Okay, cool.
Is what people are saying. But yes, if you haven't seen Mark Brooks' Hellfire Gala fan art, everyone go check it out. It's great. He did one for Moon Knight. He did Mary Jane and Venom. He did some really good ones.
Yeah, he did a Medusa one.
Yeah, the Medusa one was good. I love fancy formal Venom with like 80 shoulder pads.
It's pretty cool.
Like he's still a gross monster, but he's fancy monster now. It's a really good look. It looks even better too because it was fancy Venom with fancy Mary Jane, and it's like, oh, isn't that nice? Mary Jane took Dylan to the party, and they let him in because they don't know he's 16. I'm Venom. Can I come in? Yeah, sure. Ha! They didn't card me. Fuck yeah. This is great. I'm like a weird messed up Shazam, but just like the first part of Shazam where I buy beer and cigarettes.
And just that for eternity.
Just that for eternity while my dad's lost in time. I mean, that's basically what he's doing in the Venom book now. He's hanging out in like a biker bar because like a Hell's Angel took him in and let him clean up. And I'm like, oh, I love this, hard-edged, wayward youth Dylan.
Yeah, yeah.
It's good stuff. I'm all about it. So yeah, that's what Dark Web is, everyone. Now, here's my question. Because we're crossing over the worlds of X-Men and Spider-Man, does that mean Goblin Queen will meet Queen Goblin? Because that was a storyline they left unresolved.
Maybe.
Because, I mean, really, if you don't have these two characters with very similar names meet each other, what the hell are you even doing?
Yeah. And I'm sure we're going to get, like, Kafka come back at some point. Again, she's like another one of those characters that's like left over from that stuff, along with, like, Ben Reilly's Chasm, that needs to come back.
Also, assumedly, too, if they ever want to make Norman Osborn a bad guy again.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they could also just bring him back and have her be his foil for, because obviously he's going to be in that new run. He's going to be like funding Spider-Man or something.
Supposedly, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be kind of cool to have him have a villain as well in that story.
Yeah, be like, oh, you are literally my sins made manifest.
Yeah.
Eric Santi helping us out again right away. My favorite thing about Mark Brooks' design is that he studied drag fashion for inspiration. I didn't know that, but that makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, it's all so over the top and just
very
bright colored and everything. It's great.
It's RuPaul as hell, and I'm all about it. So there's your one big free comic book day. Technically, two big free comic book day stories. Matt read his. I didn't get to read mine. Oops. Then again, I always complain every year when I do cover these books. It's like, hey, these are more promotion materials than they are actual stories. They're not really about beginnings, middles, and ends. It's more like, here's a little vertical slice taste to get you excited for what we're doing.
Yeah, pretty much.
So again, it's not like I feel like, oh, I missed a life-changing story. It's more just like, okay, is there anything here I actually need to know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, all right, moving on from there, we got another follow-up from a story we covered last week. We talked about Frank Miller Presents, which is the brand new comic company coming to us courtesy of Frank Miller, and also Dan DiDio, who, awoke from his Odin sleep just in time for Ragnarok. And this was their new project they're doing. They're working on their new company, and it was officially announced this week that their company has signed an exclusive deal with Diamond Distributors. So they're a real big boy company now, joining with Diamond, a company that, wait, didn't the big two abandon them already?
So they're not really a big boy company anymore.
No, I'm just like, okay, Dan, I know you've been out of the loop for a little bit, but didn't you notice all the other companies left, when the pandemic happened, when, frickin' Diamond did very little to protect the interests of these companies and their creators?
That's probably how he was able to get a deal with them.
Probably, yeah, because he probably knows all the people who run it for years of being the top dog editor-in-chief.
Yeah, hey, you guys need comic books and companies to be with you, so we'll be with you.
He probably
NFTs and shit.
Yeah, he probably got a good deal. And I'm so glad you mentioned the NFT thing, Matt, because we riddled that out last week when I read the article. Apparently all the capital for this company, because obviously Frank Miller and Dan DiDio didn't start the company with, the money they found in their pockets. They needed investors, came from an NFT company. And what happened this week with NFT, Matt?
Oh, they fucking tanked.
They tanked. They had like a Black Monday level tanking where like the entire economy got brought down 90%, and a lot of people are assuming that this might actually, thank God, finally be the death nail in this.
No, not only that, I think it got to the point where one of the companies or something that's like one of the big ones behind it all ended up doing like a kind of bailout sort of thing to keep the Ponzi scheme going.
Jesus.
Yeah. So it's insane.
Again, what a great time to be funded by an NFT company when the whole NFT freaking economy tanks huge.
It's great. It was gonna happen eventually, and but it's insane to think of like how quick it happened. Though in saying that, I kind of thought it was gonna happen sooner.
Same. Same. I'm shocked that it stuck around as long as it did.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, if you're DiDio and you're Miller, you're probably sweating bullets right now, knowing your money man is going to be asking you for change and a ride to the boss in a minute. Yeah, hey guys, remember how I was sponsoring your company? Well, my money's all gone now. My apes escaped. That's what they need to call it. Don't call it a crash of NFTs. Call it the Big Ape Escape.
Yeah, the Ape Escape of 2022.
The Big Ape Extinction.
Yeah, someone in the future is going to see that and be like, oh, well, this is some big zoo catastrophe or something. It's like, nah, but a bunch of JPEGs got deleted or something. I don't know.
Why in the latter half of 2022 was, everyone talking about apes? What was all about the apes? What was going on? I don't know, man. But yeah, so there's some wonderfully stupid news. Again, I wonder, is the company going to even be a thing? I'm really expecting them to go radio silent for the next 6 months and then just be like, what comic company? We weren't making a comic company.
Yeah, what are you talking about? You're making things up.
That's silly. That's just silly. But you know what isn't silly, Matt? What's real and is very much going to be happening?
What's that?
A brand new 6-issue Azrael miniseries, courtesy of Dan Waters.
Yeah. So we're getting Dan Waters, the guy who does quite a bit of like horror.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's done. He did that that Arkham series. I don't know whether it's still going or not.
Yeah, the Black Label one, the creepy, scary one.
Yeah, and he's done like a bunch of like, I think indie or Marvel. I think at least very stuff that like airs on the side of like horror or like thriller.
Right, huh. Well, apparently this story that he's doing, this 6 issues, is actually a sequel continuation to an Azrael story that he wrote for that anthology Batman book, Urban Legends, that I know you and I aren't reading, but we always check back in every so often, because apparently they're using it as a test ground, as a test kitchen to spin stuff out, and apparently people really, really found themselves drawn to this version of Azrael, so that's going to be a thing.
Cool. I mean, they've tried a lot of things with Azrael. They made him like a space. Yeah, they made him like a space god at one point, and all this other stuff, and they did all that really cool shit with him in White Knight, where he was like a Vietnam vet or something. Yeah,
where he was like a messed up Vietnam vet with cancer. Yeah, there's definitely stuff to like about Azrael. It's a good time to be an Azrael fan, and yeah, I'll probably check out this mini.
Yeah, it's a mini, so yeah, can't really go wrong with it.
No, you really can't. Apparently, the synopsis says is that John Paul Valley is in hiding again at a monastery, because isn't he always, like 9 times out of 10 he's at a fucking monastery?
Yeah.
When he's met by a young woman who claims that she is, also under the sway of the network. Is it the network, or is it the system, the thing that controlled his brain when he worked for Saint Dumas?
I can't remember.
But either way, I got this in my brain too, and so he's got to help her. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Wouldn't it be a funny twist if she's just crazy? Ah, shit. Well, I guess I got to help you then.
she's just like a super fan who takes it to the next level.
Yeah, really. Eric Sandy helping us out again. Have DC ever done a story where Artemis, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Superman, and Azrael Batman are the Trinity? Huh. Yeah, I guess the idea being, all the people who came later into those, into those famous shoes there. No, I don't think they ever have, but that would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
That's a Justice League of America pitch right there.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. The second stringer Justice League, the Forgotten Justice League.
Yeah.
Huh. That's a good pitch, actually. You could probably make something out of that, actually.
That could be like that. What was that thing in that round robin, that Justice League Redacted or something, or whatever it was?
Yeah, the Forgotten League, League Lost.
Yeah. What book ended up winning that? Or is it still going?
I think it was, it was down to Suicide Squad Dark and that Superboy book.
Oh, okay.
Again, I saw a little art from both, so I don't actually know which one won.
Was it hacked again?
Maybe that's why we haven't heard
to make some Robin book that wasn't even on the card win or something.
Yeah. I said it before and I'll say it again, but making it be a round robin tournament and how salty many of the fans became makes me not want to review any of the books, no matter what won.
Nope.
Yeah, tell me about it. Well, Eric Santi, not only is Urban Legends still going, a new issue comes out this week.
Yeah, I can't believe that book's still going.
It's going strong, apparently. I mean, I guess if you're fans of, secondary Batman characters who aren't Batman, it's the only place you can read them.
Yeah, and again, as you said, they're using it as like a test ground.
Yeah.
Because so much stuff in that book, like that new Batman Beyond book spins out of that.
Yes, it does. So apparently, yeah, I guess it's doing its job.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. What else was happening this week in the world of comics? I think that might have been it. I think that might have been everything.
I think so. It was kind of like a small week, yeah.
Yes, it was a very small week. I was trying to think. I'm like, no, they didn't announce any new movies or TV shows. I mean, I guess we got another Kenobi trailer, but that looks more like Kenobi. Yep,
yeah,
that's Kenobi.
Looks cool.
Yeah, looks cool. I'm excited for it. I'll check it out. That comes out fairly soon. Yes.
Like 2 weeks. It's on the 27th.
Right, yes, because Disney Plus has gotten very good at having very few buffers in between releases.
Yeah.
I actually read someone say that too on Twitter, where they're like, man, I wish Disney Marvel would stop doing that, ending one of their TV shows, in this case Moon Knight, and then launching a new movie the next week. And I'm like, yeah, it's a terrible idea, isn't it, to make sure that their viewers continue to be hungry and continue to be like, man, I really liked that show. I wish there was another one. Oh, but there's a new movie coming out. I'll go see that.
Yeah, it's done very on purpose.
Yes, and then by the time that's done, it's only 2 weeks until there's another show. Again, it's almost like they want to keep you on the hook. It's almost like they're using casino tactics to make sure they keep you at all times.
Yeah, we're under a month until Miss Marvel.
Uh-huh. Yes, I know we are, yeah. Which actually, I guess that was a minor thing. Kevin Feige opened up about the fact that her powers aren't the same and that she's not going to be invigorating.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah, it's disappointing. I would have liked to go the other way, but I'll give the show a fair shake all the same.
He could just be saying that just to keep it as a surprise.
That's true. It's like, because Feige lies all the time.
And not only that, like, we don't know, what exactly the story is going to be and everything. And yeah, exactly. Like, as we've been saying, like, maybe this, the bracelets she gets is, like, a thing that, like, activates her Inhuman gene or something.
Yeah, I mean, hey, when we talk about Multiverse of Madness, stretching powers and Inhumans are very interestingly back in vogue at the moment. How about that? But yeah, Kali Frederick helping us out again. Is John going to be running the league from the start? Like I said last week, I was kind of hoping Dick would take the reins like Bruce once he said he would. I mean, I don't know. I haven't read the book yet.
I don't think he would be, because he's made it very clear throughout his solo book that he doesn't want to get involved in the league.
Yeah, he's a junior member.
And we already know that Dark Crisis is going to be centering around Nightwing.
Yeah, which is very cool in and of itself.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I guess with that out of the way, we can talk about the main event, what we've come here to talk about. Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
Is out. We've seen it. You've seen it twice, apparently, which I guess takes to mean you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really liked it. I'm surprisingly one of the few people who apparently did.
Yeah, I'm blown away by that, too. This ended up being maybe the most divisive Marvel movie in a very long time, and I'm genuinely shocked that it was as divisive as it was.
It's divisive for the most, perplexing reasons.
Very much so. Again, I don't want to be too negative, and I don't want to pull out the flag of, hey, media literacy again.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like a lot of people missed some very obvious themes willfully.
Missed some very obvious themes, and then also, missed some actual, episodes of WandaVision. Specifically the part where she's fucking using the Darkhold.
Yes, that's definitely a thing too. I mean, I guess we'll start from the very beginning. It's a Doctor Strange sequel. Though really, it's funny, it's Doctor Strange 2, but it's really more like Doctor Strange 4 or 5, because he was such a major fixture in No Way Home, and a major fixture in Thor, and everything else there. This is his first sequel in a long time, but honestly, we have had so much time with Doctor Strange to get to know him.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool because of that, because we can kind of hit the ground running, quite literally.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. This movie wastes absolutely zero time. Just boom, we're in an action scene. I thought my movie theater screwed up and put the wrong reel in. I'm like, wait, no, this is clearly from later in the movie. What are you talking about? What kind of movie starts with this? Oh, because Sam Raimi knows where it's like, look, are you seeing a Marvel movie? You've seen the other 25. Look, you know how these things fucking go. I can just drop you right into an action scene.
Exactly, yeah.
And indeed he does, with ponytail Doctor Strange from like 2016.
Yeah, it's like I think this one was called Defender Strange because he had
I
the
like it.
costume that he wore when he was part of the Defenders.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually. And the fact that they keep making fun of his ponytail. Oh, geez, I had a ponytail. Can't trust this guy. We get introduced to America Chavez, who is basically our John Connor for what is essentially a multiverse hopping Terminator story.
Yep, something's hunting her.
Got to protect the Golden Child, because she has the power to slide between multiverses, much like she does in the comics.
Yeah, and I like that they made her power look like it is in the comics, where
yes,
when she punches her way through a multiverse, it creates like the star.
Love it to death. Really cool. It's funny because America Chavez was originally actually supposed to be in No Way Home, and she was supposed to do the portal thing for the final battle. So again, they kind of moved stuff around, and I'm like, fun. We could have met her before, but we're meeting her right now in media res.
Yeah, well, it's because Doctor Strange was meant to come out before.
It was,
but like COVID fucked everything up.
Indeed it did, but it does lead to a funny scene when they're eating pizza later, and it's like, what do you know about the multiverse? A fair amount.
Yeah.
A fair amount. We had a whole Spider-Man movie about it, broke all sorts of records, so I'm sure if you're watching this, you saw that. Just the level of fucking self-awareness in this is amazing. It's funny, too, rejoining Stephen's story so many years later, because, I fully admit, Doctor Strange was one of my least favorite Marvel movies, and it's certainly the one I've revisited the least. So when he's going to the wedding and he's all torn up about Christine, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. That was your problem, wasn't it? That was the thing you were still held up upon. I forgot about that.
Well, not only that, but since that first film, a lot of shit's happened.
Indeed it has.
Thanos and 5-year gap and blip and everything, and and I like that that's also part of his story there, where when he's at the at that wedding and he meets with that doctor friend of his from the first one, that's like the first time he's kind of realized that there was actual like stakes and human loss at like what I did.
Because I have been sitting in my ivory tower that is the Sanctum Sanctorum. I don't get out in the world enough, nor have I, and I do not see the human cost of my actions. In fact, hey, they bring back a very great piece of dialogue from No Way Home when he's talking about, because Ponytail Strange gets corrupted, and he's like, oh, maybe I should steal the universe hopping powers for myself to keep them safe. And he says, in the grand calculus of the universe.
Yep. You are nothing.
Your life doesn't really matter. And again, very important, that scene, and very important the scene of the doctor giving him shit, because one of the big ongoing themes in this movie that I feel a lot of people have missed is the idea that heroes let other heroes off way too easily for their bullshit.
Yep.
And there's a big problem with that they let each other off too easily. And a lot of this, basically Stephen's big journey and character arc, if there's any arc at all, is this idea that he needs to let off the reins is the thing. He needs to be okay with losing control. He needs to, not be such a control freak, which again, hey, fits in his character. And again, with the first movie and being a doctor and being a bit of an egomaniac and everything.
Yeah, being very arrogant, has to do everything himself and everything.
Yeah. Again, he needs to learn to let go and also needs to learn about the human cost of his actions and indeed superhero actions in general.
Yep.
So he becomes the de facto protector of America Chavez, who, is being chased across the multiverse by demons. And they figure, these demons, they're not just magical. This is rune magic. This is witchcraft. If only we knew a witch we could talk to.
Yes.
And shockingly, we do. Let's go talk to her. Let's go see where Scarlet Witch is.
Yeah, and she's being a hermit in like a apple orchard after having dreams about her non-existent children.
Yes, again, what a great way to get a new mechanic out of this universe and the multiverse very quick, where they're like, hey, have you ever had a weird dream? Well, guess what? That's not a weird dream. That's a life you live in an alternate universe.
Yeah, I like the line later on where it's like, you ever had that dream of like where you're falling? Well, chances are that's like one of your multiversal counterparts being killed.
Wow, again, fucking dark, fucking heavy, and very fucking Raimi, right?
Yeah.
Again, this is a Raimi movie through and through. Like, so many of his directorial flourishes are just all over this thing.
To a kind of shocking degree, since I figured that we'd be getting kind of like, you know, the sterile Marvel, you know, tick the boxes on all these things, and then
do a couple things,
do a couple, but this is like fully a Raimi film.
Oh yeah, we get his crazy ass frenetic angles. We get jump scares in a Marvel movie.
Yeah, we get the cool Evil Dead zombie attacks where it's like from the POV of like the zombies attacking like Wanda and Doctor Strange, and
those undead spirits might as well have been fucking Deadites.
Oh, they pretty much, they sound exactly like Deadites.
They sound exactly like Deadites. Bruce Campbell, duh.
Yeah.
Papa Pizza always gets paid.
Yep, the Oldsmobile.
Yes, exactly. The Oldsmobile. I kept looking for that. I'm like, where's the Oldsmobile? Where's the Oldsmobile? There's the Oldsmobile. Because you knew it had to be there. Friggin' Christine gets a goddamn Ash groovy moment where she takes the pot thing from the first movie and uses it to kill some of them, and it's literally like the shotgun scene.
It's pretty cool.
It's really goddamn cool. One of my favorite moments in the movie. And also, too, you know it's a Raimi movie because he beats the fuck out of these actors.
Yeah.
Drenches them in blood and dirt and water and goo, and just like, man, friggin' Scarlet Witch walks through half of this movie looking like she was an extra in Drag Me to Hell.
They're looking like she's a zombie.
Yeah, literally. It is a horror movie. It is Terminator, and she is the friggin', Schwarzenegger part, because yes, hey, surprise of surprise, and I am amazed that they were actually able to keep this secret. Scarlet Witch is the bad guy in the movie. Full stop. Which I cannot believe, when so much else got leaked from this movie, that they were able to keep that bit a secret.
Yeah, it's quite interesting how they managed to do that.
Masterful trailer editing too, giving us not one but two evil-looking Doctor Stranges and having us all jump to the conclusion that it must have been the evil Doctor Strange from What If.
Yeah, the Strange Supreme,
Yeah, great job in that editing. Again, there's so little that can surprise us in these anymore, especially because you and I have to keep our nose to the news and have to always be looking at stuff. It's rare that one of these can shock us. Yes. That genuinely shocked me.
It did, yeah. It was cool, and it was a great reveal. And again, it continued off the path Wanda was taking at the end of WandaVision, which, again, I don't think a lot of people saw that like post-credits stuff with like the Darkhold and like the stuff in those final episodes of WandaVision where she was told about the Darkhold and what it can do, and then we see her at the end of that show using the Darkhold to try and make her kids real again. Yeah. And this is a continuation of that.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people miss that. A lot of people miss the whole, the evil corrupting nature of this Satan, but it's the goddamn Necronomicon.
Yeah.
From the man who gave us the Necronomicon.
Yeah.
They're even sure to name drop later, Chthon, the Marvel Cthulhu.
Yeah, because we go to Wundagore.
Oh my god, that blew my fucking mind. I'm like, oh my god, they worked in Wundagore.
Yeah,
I knew about all the other stuff, but I didn't know about Wundagore. And all the people in the theater are like, why is that man so excited for that mountain? Because it's fucking cool. It's a thing I know. And like a cool thing where it's like, Wundagore Mountain, where the ancient runes of the Darkhold were first written and translated into a book. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And there's a big portrait of Scarlet Witch there because Chthon had always planned to use her, much like in the comics.
Yes.
Which, again, I feel flew over a lot of people's heads where it's like, but in the comics, they're actually, like, uniquely tied, Scarlet Witch and Chthon.
Yeah. They have a really big relationship.
Yeah, the movie doesn't dwell on it, but all you need to know, it's like, it's Cthulhu Satan.
Yep.
Who is the source of all chaos magic. And, of course, Wanda is acting erratically. Chaos magic, dude. Chaos. It's in the fucking name.
Yeah, and they tell us quite a few times that, you use this book, it exacts a toll. We see what happens when Doctor Strange, or when a Doctor Strange uses it.
We see multiple Doctor Stranges use it and how it fucks them up.
Yep.
Again, it's like the one ring of power.
Yeah.
And again, the fact that people don't see that. So many people are so quick to say, like, oh, this completely ruins her arc from WandaVision. No, it's a very organic continuation of it. She learned torturing a whole town to get what I want is bad. I'm going to kill one teen to get what I want.
Yeah.
And in the grand calculus of the universe, I am using your own logic, Doctor Strange, against you. It really shouldn't matter, because you would have killed that girl if you thought it would get you what you wanted. Oh, you were fine killing all those villains in Spider-Man because you thought they didn't matter. I'm just acting like you. Again, it's the scene from the trailer. You do it and you're called a hero. I do it and I'm called a monster.
Yeah, it's great.
Again, I am you, but a couple moves ahead from now. And again, the fact that people can't see that this movie is an indictment of how superheroes treat each other and let each other off the hook way too easily. And don't check in on each other either. Like, Strange knows the Westview incident happened, didn't bother to look in on her.
I was going to say that. Well, like, none of the Avengers did.
No.
Seemingly none of them reached out and like, hey, we saw what happened over at Westview. You want some help?
Yeah, you want some help? You okay? You're reading, the fucking Necronomicon that's corrupting your mind and everything. Nah, you cool? And again, that's not a mistake. That's very much intentional, because we see this idea of superheroes letting each other off the hook taken to its nth degree when we go to the Illuminati universe, where they have taken that idea to its deadliest extreme.
Yes, Earth 838.
Yeah, we saved the world, but we had to kill one of our own. But in the grand calculus of the universe, we created this beautiful utopia that we rule from behind the scenes as the Illuminati. But it's fine, right? Yeah,
we use this Strange like, no one knows this Strange was corrupted or anything, and we made it out like he was a hero, and that caused unity with everyone, because he saved everyone, and we were able to use that death and that him being evil for something good.
Yeah, we lied, we cheated, but it's all fine in the end, right? We're heroes. Our ends always justify the means, right?
Yes.
And again, subtle theme that I feel a lot of people did not pick up on. That again, everything you say is a bug is not a bug, is very much a feature.
Yes.
Again, that's what it was all about. Man, Mordo was fun in this movie, too, because, like, what was it, like 8 years ago now? They're like, oh, yeah, Mordo will be the villain for Doctor Strange, too. And he kind of is and kind of isn't.
And the best thing about it is the Mordo isn't the MCU Mordo. It's the Illuminati Mordo. It's the multiversal Mordo.
It's great, too, because, like, you almost want to believe him. Like, yeah, in this world, we're friends. In this world, it worked out. Nah, I screwed you over anyway.
I like that Steven, like, always knew that was going to happen. Like, he still just didn't trust him, despite him, welcoming him in open arms to the Sanctum and everything, because the Steven of that world dying got Mordo what he wanted, which is to become the Sorcerer Supreme.
Surely he can't have everything he wants and still be a dick, right? Apparently, yes. Which also leads to probably one of the best goddamn hand-to-hand fight scenes since, like, Winter Soldier. I was not expecting Doctor Strange and Mordo to have a super cool fight.
I like it that that was in close quarters, and you had, like, Strange, like, jumping up the wall. It kind of reminded me of that fight of in No Way Home between Peter and Goblin, how they're, like, fighting in that hallway. Yeah.
And it's like, yep, I think I see why your universe's Mordo hates you. And, oh, man, I mean, I guess we'll have to talk about it eventually, but while we're talking about Illuminati, all the cameos you wanted, you basically got.
No, everyone wanted more cameos, and that's why the movie sucks.
Naturally. Look, hey, I got all the cameos I wanted.
Yeah, people wanted they spread that rumor that Tom Cruise was in the film as the superior Iron Man.
I remember that.
Deadpool was in the film, and the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was going to show up, and none of that was ever going to happen.
No, but you still got a pretty great smattering all the same. Hey, here's Black Bolt, but he's actually cool.
Oh, man, fuck. As a Black Bolt fan, that was so fucking cool.
So good, so great. Also, hey, he's the one who executes Doctor Strange.
Yeah, and his powers look cool.
His powers look great. I'm sorry.
It looks so good.
Yeah, again, him doing all the sign language and doing a lot of really good facial acting and looking sad and everything when the moment calls for it.
It was great. That actor, Anson Mount, had a good week because his new Star Trek show debuted the same day Doctor Strange came out as well.
How is that new Star Trek show? I saw a clip and I'm like, wait, this actually looks pretty good.
It's fucking good. It's fucking like old school Star Trek.
It does. It was the scene where they're like in the kitchen making food and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess they don't have replicators yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I want to watch this. As like a very casual Star Trek fan, can I watch this?
Yeah, it's basically like what if they picked up the Cage pilot, from the 1960s and just continued?
Right. Because it's about Pike, not Kirk.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, I might have to check that out. Apparently Orville comes back in early June.
Oh fuck! He keeps saying that it's gonna come back, and then it'll get delayed somewhere.
I think someone is very much trying to jam McFarlane up, but that's not one way or the other. Kali Frederick loved Wong in this movie. Yeah, man, fucking Wong has grown by leaps and bounds, hasn't he?
He's the Sorcerer Supreme now.
He's the Sorcerer Supreme. He's good at his job and actually has a really good, long run in the movie. Like, him and Wanda almost become like a weird buddy cop thing when they gotta go to Wundagore Mountain.
Yeah, I kind of like that he was kind of her prisoner, but also her partner as well. Because, like, he knows, like, yeah, he was trying to help her get not really what she wants, but, like, kind of show her what happens when you do this sort of stuff and how bad it can be.
The error of your ways. Yeah, he also stated the other big theme of the movie, which is, in an endless, multiverse where anything can happen anywhere all at once, maybe your own pain you should be able to put in the background a little bit, know that your children are loved somewhere in the multiverse, and maybe try and make this life you're living the best version. Because again, I feel like that's a recurring theme in a lot of the multiverse stories we're getting now, where it's like, if you think that your life is infinite in a multiverse, it'll drive you crazy from the existential dread of it all. Maybe because of that, you're too busy comparing yourself to other universes and the person you could be, when you should be trying to make the you are and this universe the best possible version.
The best possible one in the whole multiverse, yeah.
Where Wanda, as the villain, goes the complete opposite way, where it's like, no, well, if it's an infinite universe, I should always be able to get what I want, no matter what. It doesn't matter, right? Because, if I kill you here or if I die there, it doesn't matter, in the infinite universe, which is funny because we always see, like, the heroes come to that idea, but it's interesting to see the villainous twist on that. And again, bringing it back to what Strange said, in the grand calculus of the multiverse.
Yes.
I should be able to do whatever I want. Because I have these powers and no one can stop me.
Yeah.
Kali Frederick Krasinski killed it as Reed, was sad at his death. Yeah, everyone wanted Krasinski as Reed, and you finally got it. I don't know if they should build a whole franchise around him, though.
He's probably going to be the
probably
the main one. I mean, you don't just cast him just for that little bit, or maybe you do.
And they want his wife, which seems to be the big thing.
Yeah, well, I think fans want his wife just because they're, like, married. Because that means they can be a good Fantastic Four, I guess.
I'll freely admit I've not watched near as much of his work as everyone else does.
No, he's pretty good in this. He seems like Reed Richards,
Yeah, he's smart. He's affluent. He gets a good scene there. Trying to talk to Wanda parent to parent, which I quite enjoyed.
I like that they mention his children.
Yeah, don't piss off his children. One's like the smartest woman in the world, and the other one's a literal god.
The other one, which would actually, like, I wonder if there is, like, somewhere out there, like, a universe where, like, the Fantastic Four came out before this film, and, like, instead of America Chavez, Wanda goes after Franklin Richards because he can create universes and be like, you create me a universe where my children are living beings, and I'll go there.
Again, that feels like a really good sequel hook, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Because, like, here's the thing. For everyone who's pissing and moaning about Wanda, like, oh, they ruined her character. Oh, this movie hates women, which it really doesn't. The strongest arcs in this movie were all women. America's arc, Christine's arc of becoming a fully realized character. Someone told that to me today, and I couldn't believe it. This movie hates women. No, it doesn't. It's literally all about women.
The main character, Doctor Strange, isn't really the main character of this film.
No, not at all. Again, I don't know how you could think that, but all right, you're entitled to your opinion. But yeah, that would be a great sequel hook, because here's the thing. She went from being a background character in the movies, or being like a secondary Avenger, actually technically a villain in the first one, to a secondary Avenger, to being the star of a TV show, to being the villain in this. Mark my words, the next time we see Wanda, it will be in a fully fledged Scarlet Witch movie.
Yeah, I imagine like a movie or like a series or something. Yeah, something like that.
Because that's what I see the trajectory here being like. Yes, you want to see her redeemed, right? You like her, and I bet you're willing to pay the cost of a ticket to go see her big redemption movie when we come out with Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. I know I will. I'll definitely see it. It's definitely an intriguing arc they've been doing for her. And again, like as you said, she's a villain. People need to also remember that when she and Quicksilver showed up at the comics, and Hawkeye, they were all villains.
For a long time, they were bad guys.
And even throughout the years, Wanda has been a villain.
Yes, Wanda has backslid all the time, which makes me think a lot of the people making these complaints, I couldn't even get mad because I'm like, oh, you adorable movie fans. Oh, you're so cute. It's your first time, huh, seeing Wanda Maximoff, waffle back and forth on morality. Call me in 20 years when she's been doing it nonstop.
Yeah, this isn't the first time.
I mean, Christ, even just recently, Trial of Magneto, I summoned monsters, oh no.
Yeah, and just before that, I'm bringing Genosha back to life as zombies, and...
Yes, I faked my own death with my father, maybe, so I could be a mutant again, but I did. Just welcome to every Wanda story, everyone.
Yep.
This is why this is actually the most accurate. Again, are you confused and a little upset about reading a new or seeing a new Scarlet Witch story? Welcome to every comic fan. Yeah, as Cosmic Rejects is saying too, they just made a woman one of the most compelling villains in their universe. That's a little messed up that, a woman can't be a compelling, interesting, occasionally sympathetic villain?
In the MCU, you can kind of count on one hand all of the female villains. Like, you got Hela and Scarlet Witch, and
yep,
that's it. I guess maybe, I guess you could maybe call Black Widow's mother a villain. Maybe not. I don't know.
I mean, she kind of tried to redeem herself by the end, which Wanda doesn't. Madam Mask from the Peggy Carter show.
Yep.
But again, no one remembers that. No one watched season 2 of Peggy Carter. Only we did. That being said, Peggy Carter gets a pretty fucking big payoff here, doesn't she?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We're seeing Captain Carter.
Hey, look at me in the suit. I love her title, The First Avenger, Peggy Carter. Nice. That's great. She's got the shield. She does her version of I could do this all day.
Yeah, and then gets cut in half.
Gets fucking cut in half. Monica Rambeau is fun here, too, as this universe's Captain Marvel. I'm like, oh, yeah, because she was introduced in the WandaVision show, and now she's the last one standing against Wanda in this show where she becomes Captain Marvel, which she was in the comics at one point anyway.
Well, the Rambeau in WandaVision was her daughter.
Right, that's right. This is the other one.
This is Lashana Lynch, the Carol's friend from the first film, who I guess in this universe like switched places with Carol and became became Captain Marvel.
Either way, it's cool. Cosmic Rejects, is Nebula a villain? Arguably, she's a villain for like most of Guardians 1.
Yeah.
But then really, kind of turns it around in 2 and everything else. Mm-hmm. Oh, Shang-Chi's sister. Okay, there's a good one.
But again, is she a villain?
She wasn't for most of that movie, and only at the end she's like, all right, I'm taking over now. And I'm like, well, for good or for evil? They're playing sinister music, but I don't know.
Sinister rap music, yeah.
Yeah, we'll put an asterisk on that one. Villain question mark? I don't know. We'll see what she does next. We'll see where that one goes. But yeah, that's great. We get to see them. Yeah, Wanda just totally tearing through the Illuminati, where it's like, hey, everyone, here's all these great cameos. Now they're fucking dead.
And it's kind of fitting that she would tear through them, just because like you and me both know the Illuminati, and they're incredibly arrogant people. They're filled with the most arrogant people in the Marvel universe.
Absolutely.
So of course they're gonna which. Whatever.
We're strong enough. We can do this.
We have Professor Xavier. He can deal with it.
Man, can we talk about that? Maybe my favorite entrance in the whole movie. Yellow cartoon wheelchair, green cartoon suit, a couple bars of na 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 na. Ah, I jumped out of my chair. I love it.
And then he gets his head ripped off.
And then he gets his fucking head ripped off. Though, admittedly, he goes out in a total Professor X fashion, where he's like, let's roll the dice on this, Doctor Strange. I make crazy declarations all the time. I trusted Wolverine when no one would let me.
I'm only doing this because it's a redhead.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I get weak around redheads. Everyone knows that. Now I'm gonna try and put a brain whammy on her, and I'm like, oh, what an amazing X-Men moment here. Professor X putting a brain whammy on Scarlet Witch. Love her little dimension in there where she was keeping that universe's Wanda, which is the bombed out apartment. I'm like, oh,
It's
this
pretty
is cool.
cool.
I'm trapping you in your worst memory because it's my worst memory too.
The bombed out apartment with like the TV there still playing all like the old like shows and everything.
Yes. Oh man, speaking about TVs, there's 2 TV gags in this that I love so much, and I feel it's going to go over the heads of most people who aren't animation historians. When we see Wanda and her 2 kids watching cartoons in the background in the alternate universe, it's Oswald the Lucky Rabbit on TV, not Mickey Mouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Oswald, for those of you who don't know, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit was Walt Disney's original cartoon creation that he had taken away from him, so he had to make Mickey Mouse as a backup. I love the idea that in this universe, Oswald is more popular than Mickey, and or Disney didn't lose the rights to it.
Yeah.
The other animation gag is at the end of the movie, Snow White is on television, and it's the scene where Snow White is running through the haunted forest, because, oh, hey, who's the villain in that movie? Oh, an evil witch with a poison apple? What was Scarlet Witch doing when she was hiding? Growing apples, you say? How about that? Again, man, freaking Raimi loves witch stories, doesn't he? And, like, putting witchy shit and stuff.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, Kali Frederick was hoping to see a mind battle with other Wanda. Yeah, surprised they didn't pull that out, though they actually end up probably surprising you and going the other way, where good Wanda doesn't have to do anything because, like, Scarlet Witch Wanda already feels, like, shitty enough about herself and what she's done.
Yeah, she's able to defeat her without actually, like, fighting
Hitting
her.
her. Again, say what you want about Doctor Strange, but 2 movies in a row, they've had the best, most creative finales, haven't they?
Yeah, they've been pretty good.
That completely bucked any and all trends, and they're like, no, we're doing something totally different here.
Yeah, and I like as well that Strange really wasn't part of the big battle, like that confrontation between
Wanda. But
but I like that, like most of him in that was just like he's just in that like decaying corpse of Defender Strange.
Which, man, what a fucking great setup and payoff for that, right? We bury the corpse in Act 1 to call it back in Act 3.
I like how they called it back because it's exactly the same as Raimi, what he does in his film Darkman, where like he zooms in on the eyes and all you can see is like the eyes in the shadow, they light up and everything, and it's great.
And I turn the souls of the dead into my cape, and I'm like, this is so fucking metal.
So cool. So fucking cool.
This is awesome. Is that a figure? Can I buy Zombie Strange with Demon Cape? Because I will. I will give you American dollars. But yeah, what you were saying, Strange finishes his arc, and that is, I need to learn to let go. I can't win this battle for America because she had the power to win it in herself all along. She knew what to do. And hey, I helped her finish her sidekick arc, and so she was able to ultimately save the day. I helped, but I finished my arc by learning I need to stop being a control freak and I need to learn to let go.
Yeah, and again, it's a great, like, it's the culmination of his arc over like Endgame and No Way Home and now this film.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like a lot of people miss that too, where it's like, no, see, his whole thing was about learning to let go, leave the past where it is, and stop wondering what if. Which that bit there where he fixes the watch, which has been kind of like his major totem, major recurring thing, and then he puts it away at the end because, you know what, I'm not going to be like Wanda. I'm not going to drive myself crazy wondering about the life I could have had, the choices I should have made, and how my life could have been different because I have seen it.
Yeah, and I like that how he fixes the watch. He doesn't use magic or anything. He just like fixes it like just with his bare hands and everything, which again is like another really cool thing because he could never use his hands, and watchmaking is a very fine art, like very small pieces and everything, and he was able to do that, and you know his hands are kind of all fucked up, so it's kind of cool that he was able to do that.
Coming full circle in a big way.
Yeah,
I was all about that. I like that one a whole lot. What else was there? Again, I feel like we talked about the big things. What about just like the smaller things that you enjoyed? Just, you know, something you thought about.
I just liked how much of it was like a horror film. And
Yes.
how much of the film Wanda was, Michael Myers or Jason
Very much
Voorhees,
so.
especially in that scene after the Illuminati where she's tracking them through like that bunker.
Oh, she literally chased them through a hallway. Yeah.
Yeah, that bunker, and she's all like fucked up and everything.
It's a monster movie. She's the monster, and that's super cool.
She crawls out of that gong like the Samara from The Witch,
Like
from
Me
the
to
Ring.
Hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Drag Me to Hell, which was also a movie about an evil witch. How about that?
Yeah.
Eric Santi, so it's Dark Phoenix for Wanda. She has to regain control and stop herself. Basically, yeah.
Yeah, except good.
Yeah, well, I think he's talking about the comic Dark Phoenix, but yes, Wanda basically has her own Dark Phoenix saga in this.
Yeah.
And ultimately, again, too, she also has a full arc, too. She realizes what's wrong, and she destroys the Darkhold across the multiverse and brings down Wundagore Mountain so no one else can be tempted the same way she is.
I have to wonder if they're going to, like, do anything with that, because surely destroying the Darkhold across all the multiverse will have had some sort of effect, like a sort of balance.
You would think so,
how there's, like, the Book of Vishanti and then the Darkhold, like, there was, like, a balance?
Well, you know what I think it is? I think that's what's going to bring in Chthon finally. Be like, yeah, the book was binding me, you see, and now that it's gone, I can finally enter this world.
Yeah, well, and as well, like, one thing they keep mentioning throughout the film, and something that got me really excited, because they're obviously setting this up for, like, their big event, and they start mentioning incursions. They get Reed Richards and everything to start mentioning incursions.
Jumped out of my chair. I'm like, oh my god, are they really bringing in Hickman ideas right now?
Yes, they are.
They certainly are, where it's like, yes, if two realities are too close together, one or both can ultimately be destroyed. We already, did some horrible shit to stop that from happening, and it can happen in your world too. And in fact, hey, that's the post-credit. Fucking Clea, hey, one of the other big Doctor Strange characters we haven't seen yet, shows up and says, hey, you need to help stop the incursions. Now, whether that's going to be Doctor Strange 3 or Avengers 4, who knows?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, because like if it follows that, like he will have been stopping incursions again, like how they did in like the comics leading up to Secret Wars, where like Black Panther and like the Avengers, I think the Illuminati as well, were like secretly trying to stop these incursions from happening.
They were. I guess it makes sense, too, if you want to tell more Doctor Strange solo stories. It's like, hey, what were the best couple Doctor Strange stories of the last decades? Well, it actually happened in Hickman's Avengers, actually, where he was a major central character.
Yeah.
Ooh, King Claude reminded me. The musical note battle, it comes out of nowhere, and yet it's amazing.
Using the actual score of the film as like a weapon. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, wow. We were on a great roll there, and something just totally came in and fucked us.
Yeah, it shut Skype, it shut Streamlabs, shut everything down.
Again, the dangers and troubles of making a show, everyone. I promise, though, in an alternate universe, though, in our own multiverse of madness, we stayed on for the whole time.
We went a show without fucking up.
Without a technical difficulty. Yes, you see, in the grand calculus of the universe, sometimes shows need to die, and this was one of them. For the greater good, you see. What were we even talking about there? We were on such... Oh, yeah, incursions. Yeah, fuck me, they're doing incursions. Holy shit.
Yeah. We're on our way to Secret Wars.
Yeah, unbelievable. Because it's so funny. I know I've had conversations with other people before where it's like, yeah, they might do Secret Wars, but they're not going to be doing the Hickman Secret Wars. They're going to be doing the original toy-selling Secret Wars. Honestly, at this point, it seems like they might do both.
Yeah. I'm glad they're going for the Hickman Secret Wars, because that was just so cool. Like with the incursions and everything, it was all cool.
Like we said, it's also a good direction for Doctor Strange because he was such a major focal point in that story.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Hickman clearly loved him and loved exploring his character.
Yeah.
It's crazy, too, to when we think, because, obviously when the MCU started, the main goal was always Avengers. We're going to get there, all roads lead to Avengers, then all roads lead to Endgame, etc., etc. Now it's funny, because it seems like in this new age, it's almost like choose your next big event that's going to bring everything together, because we got the final host that they set up in Eternals.
Yep.
And now we have incursions, and it's like, well, shit, either of those feel like they could be Avengers-level threats.
Yeah, again, they can kind of go any direction they want, and I guess like maybe that was like the idea, where it's basically we'll set up a bunch of these things, see which ones like people like,
like the most, and then we'll do that.
And we'll do them, and then maybe like a little later on we'll do like something with like the ones we didn't use.
Yeah, because it's like, and if God forbid people don't like it, I think it is. I think they're setting themselves up to, like I said, this could be Doctor Strange 3. That could be the plot of that. Unless people really like it and really respond to it, then maybe it'll be Avengers 4.
Yeah.
Or, maybe people don't want the final host, so, maybe we'll double down on this. We got lots of places we could potentially go.
Yeah.
As the chat is saying, hey, not just Secret Wars, but Battle World. Yeah, we need to go to Battle World first. Agreed. We need all the characters, the good guys and the bad guys, from across the franchise on equal ends on their own base, and they need to fight each other. I agree. It needs to be a big tournament arc.
Yeah.
Also, if they do Battle World, they need to sell toys, and they need to have retro box art like the original Battle World toys. Oh, they're going to do that.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Again, it's a license to print money, damn it.
Of course, yeah, and we still got like the stuff with like Black Suit Spider-Man symbiote like coming into this universe and everything. So like that's like a whole other thing. Was like, well, do the actual like the Clintars actually exist out in the universe? Are they here? Is Null here?
Yeah, Elaine seems to be building her own team of Dark Avengers as well.
Yep.
To say nothing of all the young heroes that all these new movies have gone out of their way to set up. Whether that be Young Avengers that eventually builds to, or some version of the Champions, who knows?
Yeah.
And that's before we even get frickin' an X-Men or a Fantastic Four.
Yeah, and we still got Thor in like a couple of months, and whatever that film is going to be building towards. Probably more of this stuff, maybe.
I imagine so. Kali helping us out. Loved Charlize Theron as Clea. Yeah, me too. She has a short amount of time, but yeah, she's good casting.
Yeah, I like it.
Hope she and Steve are already together come next movie. Also, do you guys think we could get Bats in the next movie? Oh, the ghost dog?
Yeah, the ghost beagle.
Who doesn't want a highly marketable ghost dog? Who doesn't want the next great plush creature to be a ghost dog?
The next Grogu, yeah.
Yeah, the next Grogu. Baby bats.
Yeah.
I love
it. Oh, I completely forgot. Yeah, Disney Plus, they're doing the goddamn Secret Invasion on there as well.
Yeah, we got that we're building up to. But yeah, which they're making it sound like it might just be a Samuel L. Jackson show, but I doubt it'll just be a Samuel L. Jackson show.
Again, they could tie that into the incursions. Like Skrulls from another universe or something came over.
Potentially. Eric Santi helping us out one more time there. Would love to see a Scarlet Witch movie where she teams up with Victoria Montesi, a.k.a. Marvel's first lesbian, a.k.a. daughter of Chthon from the 90s. Oh, wow, that's a deep cut, but also totally a good pitch.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, you need to help me defeat my father.
Yeah.
I am Scarlet Witch, and I also have complicated feelings about my father. Or at least I did in another universe. Now I don't know.
Yeah, now my father's just some guy.
Some guy, maybe. Now, apparently, again, was this just a rumor, but apparently they did want to get Magneto in here, but couldn't at the last second?
I have no idea. I think it's one of those things where it's like, it was one of the millions of cameos that people said was going to be in the film,
True.
You know?
Again, I'm sure, I can only imagine at some point they probably had a list of like, here's people who we can get, here's people we want, and maybe Ian McKellen was busy, and they're like, oh, we'll get Patrick Stewart instead.
Yeah, he's not doing much, you know?
Yeah, we'll get him to roll on up for a cameo. Still, though, in the back of my mind, wouldn't it be something to have Ian McKellen, oh, you remind me of my daughter. Because that's just all fans want. They just want him to say that, you remind me of my daughter, and then move on.
Yeah, well, in those films, it was like they were really fast and loose. I think it's because like Scarlet Witch was in the MCU, and because like Quicksilver was his son, but Scarlet Witch wasn't.
Yes, and they built a whole movie around frickin' Quicksilver, and I'm going to tell him I'm his son, and then he just didn't.
Yeah, for no reason whatsoever.
For no fucking reason. God, those later X-Men movies are really annoying, aren't they? But that's okay, though, because we can just get all the good parts and all the fans want now because of the multiverse. When Hugh Jackman decides that, he needs retirement money, when he decides that he, needs to add another room to his house.
Yeah. But that's why I'm glad the film didn't have as many cameos as all these people want, because as others have pointed out, it's cool when the Doctor Strange has done like multiverses and other dimensions in the comics, it's always been focused on like, oh, this is a universe where like gravity is that of the suns, or like really weird shit, and all that. It's not like, oh, this is the universe that Deadpool is in, and this is the universe that the X-Men movies are in, you know, which what people wanted.
Yeah.
Which is, also, I don't think why they didn't like the whole multiverse traveling thing, because it wasn't that. It was weird shit.
Also, too, it's like, you know, the cameos are cool, but not what the movie was about.
No. Again, it was a multiverse of madness, and we saw that.
Yes, it was a fun bone to throw the fans, and indeed they did.
Yeah.
Also, hey, Strange seemingly changed now due to his own interaction with the Darkhold. He can now open his third eye.
Yeah, he's got a weird third eye now.
Yeah, that's a hell of a thing that they're going to have to continue to build, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also a good way to bring back Scarlet Witch and bring back any of the Darkhold stuff if they want, to be like, yeah, how do I get rid of this?
Yeah.
It's really uncomfortable.
Hey, maybe Clea and her father Dormammu might be able to help.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
I'd be down for that. Lots of places they could go with it.
Yeah.
Again, if you do a Scarlet Witch movie too, as I'm certain they will, maybe they'll reintegrate White Vision wherever he ran off to.
Do you reckon they will? Because like he had no real connection to Wanda. Like he was like basically like a reset.
Yeah, because he doesn't know anything now.
Yeah. So like, I have to feel like the next time we see him, he's probably going to be in maybe Armor Wars. Because that's all about like Tony Stark's tech falling into the wrong hands, and he's technically Tony Stark tech.
Technically, yeah, that could be something.
Yeah.
Kali helping us out again. I'd love to see Secret Wars that starts with Jackman, Old Man Logan appearing in the middle of New York. That would be fun. Hey, I'm officially old enough to be Old Man Logan now.
I don't need makeup.
Yeah, I don't need makeup at all. I'm just really old Hugh Jackman. That's fun. So yeah, we talked about incursions, we talked about future sequels, we talked about how much we enjoyed this one, the very subtle arcs and themes that I think a lot of people are ignoring.
A lot of people are ignoring them.
Which is a shame, because as we've said time and time again, it seems that people are always yelling where it's like, oh, these Marvel movies are too simplistic, you know, they need to change the formula, they need to do something different. Well, here they actually gave you a pretty subtle, pretty layered and complex movie, and a lot of you seem to not like it.
No, well, it kind of dawned on me that like, oh, people aren't getting this. Is like when I saw Red Letter Media's review of it, and they throughout the whole thing was like, I wish it had more humor and jokes, and I'm like, what the fuck, you spend like the rest of your Marvel movie reviews talking about how they don't need any of that. What the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, so literally it's everyone. So literally, this is a brain worm that is in everyone, I guess.
And not only that, people are like complaining that the movie is too dark for PG-13, and like, how did Marvel pay them off to get? And like, have you seen PG-13 films? Jaws is PG-13. Raiders of the Lost Ark with melting fucking Nazi faces is PG-13.
Again, this is a total throwback to, you know, 80s horror movies and shit that was PG-13. Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I even found even kind of shocking was when, you know, Dark Doctor Strange gets impaled by a fence, because I'm like, that's realistic.
Yeah.
But again, it's just like, it's one moment. And it's like, well, that was it.
Yeah, there wasn't any like blood or anything, so it's all cool, you know?
It's just like a realistic injury. Like, oh, fuck, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
That's gotta hurt. I mean, besides that, I'm like, this feels like an old-timey, you know, like spook house Halloween movie is what it feels like.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, Sam Raimi's there on full display, and I don't understand all these people. Like, as you said, like, the movie changes everything, like what a Marvel movie usually is, and it's like what people have been asking for over and over and over again, and they still hate it.
I guess this is proof that, you know, what people have thought, and what like psychologists have actually, you know, done studies to try and prove, and that is people don't actually want the things they say they want.
Yeah, very obvious.
I think it was the Wilson Coffee Company. I can't remember. It was one coffee company who like hired a psychologist to be like, okay, you know, we want to find the best coffee to try and sell people. And they did a bunch of surveys, and everyone they asked said, oh, I want like a dark, rich roast is what I want, because that's what everyone should want in coffee, because, you know, that's like the proper adult, you know, sophisticated thing to want in a coffee, a dark, rich roast. But then they set out a bunch of coffee for people to drink after they took all their information, and every one of those people who said, I want a rich dark roast, reached for something weak and milky. And I think there's a lot of truth in that people will tell you one thing when they don't really want it.
Yeah,
because they think it's what they should want.
Yeah. It just boggles my mind. It's the same. It's the same thing that happened with Eternals.
Yeah,
where that was totally different. That was exactly like what I thought an Eternals film was going to be like, and everyone hated it.
Now, I like Multiverse more than Eternals, but yeah, I totally get what you're saying, where it's like, oh yeah, you know, this one really tried something different, you know, really kind of flipped the script and everything on it there, and yeah, a lot of people didn't like it. Now, that being said, I did read a lot of people who got to see the movie way after the fact, after, like, you know, the fervor had died down, and a lot of people who actually got to, like, see it at home and on streaming, they're like, no, this was really great.
Yeah.
I think, too, it was more of a streaming experience, I think is what it really was, too. I think, like, a lot of people where it's like, oh, this isn't really what I thought I'd get in a theater experience when I paid for a Marvel movie. But, you know, when you can watch it at home, when you can pause it, get up, walk around, really invest more in it. But, hey, that's just me.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that'll be what happens with this film once it hits
probably
home movie. Or it'll turn out like No Way Home, where it's like the worst thing ever in cinema
now,
because
even though everyone
CGI, you know.
Yeah, that fucking gets
CGI that they didn't know was CGI until they were told it was CGI in the special features.
Again, this weird. Again, I'll call it a brain worm, is what it is. Everyone loved this movie when it came out. It made all the money in a time of COVID and basically saved movie theaters. Mm-hmm. It was this big, you know, like huge watershed moment for Spider-Man fans. 6 months later, oh, it was actually bad and the worst thing ever, and the Batman is better, and here's why.
Yeah, and now I'm seeing like people hating on the Batman because this movie's out. It's like a cycle.
Very much so. Again, people just can't be happy with what they have. And in the back of my mind, I'm just like, be fucking happy we have these things. Do you know how much I would kill for back in the day for a 3-hour Detective Batman movie? Or that anyone would make a Moon Knight show? Or that people would actually do, like, you know, a morally complex, morally gray look at Scarlet Witch? We are getting these things. What the fuck? Are you never pleased? Or is this just because it's the internet and because the internet does a good job, you know, exaggerating and amplifying, contrarian negative voices? It's probably that.
It's probably that, because a couple of days ago I saw something where, because obviously Reed Richards is in this film, which means we're obviously getting a Fantastic Four film coming out soon. And people are saying, like, yeah, I guarantee you once that film starts coming out, the Josh Trank one, it'll be heralded as a misunderstood masterpiece, and you know, as it is, because they're already doing that with the first couple of Fantastic Four films that they're fucking awful.
Riv Wilson, the chat. I honest to God feel like I'm not allowed to not like movies anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely are, but yes, there's definitely a thing on social media and Twitter where it's like, I don't even want to fucking talk about this.
Yeah.
But it is weird to see people like change, like the narrative changes 6 months later, where it's like, but wait, I thought we all liked this last time. What happened?
Yeah, what changed? Oh, you watched the special features that revealed how movies are made?
Yeah, really. And also, too, don't worry, Riv, we can all hate Morbius, so it's all okay.
Yes, that's the one thing that will unify. That's our Doctor Strange killing Thanos, you know, and bringing the you know, utopic universes. Us hating all on Morbius.
Again, you see, really what they did, Sony, is give us a wonderful light to all gather around, you know, left and right, east and west, black and white. We can all come together and hate on Morbius. In a day and age when we are more divided than ever, Morbius is truly the enemy that united us all. Like the goddamn aliens in Independence Day. We all came together.
Yeah.
Man, I used to think that was such a great scene in Independence Day, where it's like, yeah, you know, no matter the problems in the world, if we were all threatened, Earth would totally come together to fight something. Oh, we can't even come together to fight a deadly virus? Oh, well, fuck me, huh? Thank you for once again proving to me that movies are wrong and bullshit.
Yeah.
It's nice knowing a zombie situation you would all be that guy who got bit and didn't tell anyone.
Didn't tell anyone, or the one that like shoots someone in the leg to like so he can get ahead of him or something.
Riv saying their boyfriend had to watch more Morbius for work. Oh, I'm sorry. Now again, BF might be boyfriend or best friend. I am not sure. Either way, he's trying to get that. Shit. I run a comic book channel and I don't even want to watch Morbius for work.
Oof, it's bad.
Isn't it out? Didn't it like come out already, or is coming out sooner than people thought? Like they moved it up ahead like a whole month.
Oh, it's out. It's been out for like a while.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Just no one gives a shit?
Like a couple of months, yeah, and it just like died off almost immediately. Because the director came out like the day before it came out. It's like, hey, here's all the spoilers.
I remember that, yeah.
Vulture, all that bullshit, and then yeah.
Yes, I remember that. Well, I think that's just about everything we can say about Multiverse of Madness. Matt and I liked it. I guess that puts us in the minority this time around, but that's fine. Again, I don't think it's supposed to be a movie for everyone.
No, not at all. But I am surprised that people didn't pick up on all of the things that we picked up on just because they seemed quite obvious.
Yeah, like again, like not liking the movie is fine, but people's reasoning behind not liking it I find weird and suspect.
Very perplexing, yeah.
Again, like, oh, it didn't honor Wanda's journey, it didn't do this, that, and the other. Nah, it did though when you think about it.
It did, yeah.
And also, in many ways, by having Wanda be infuriating, it's pretty much her comic character for the last 20 years being infuriating. Always flopping back and forth. In many ways, it's the most honest adaptation because of that. I mean, look, if you're going to write stuff about Wanda, that's the stuff in the comics to adapt.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing. I guess before we end for the night there, we can talk about what's coming out this week that people can expect to read.
Yes.
We got X-Men number 11. Speaking of X-Men.
Nice.
We got that coming out. We got Superman, Son of Kal-El, 11.
Nice.
The big Batman tells us what he's learned issue, apparently.
Yes.
Moon Knight, Black, White, and Blood.
Oh, is that starting? I thought that started already.
No, it's starting this week. This is the Hickman Moon Knight anthology.
Yeah.
This really should have started when the show was going on, not when it just ended.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was excited to read it, but now that the show's over, and I think that, interest will probably drop off as it normally does.
It's like how last week Legend of Tomorrow got axed, and then this week they put out their Earth Prime issue, which had a lot of jokes about, like, catch us on Wednesday at 8 p.m. And I'm like, oh, no, we can't really, though.
That's sad. Hulk versus Thor, Banner War Alpha. That's a big crossover that's starting. I haven't been reading Hulk. I would need to catch up on it, and I got to read The Last Thor, which was a big, like, 60-page anthology.
I'm like halfway through that Thor book, and yeah, it I would have had it up beefy. Sooner, but it's like 60, 70 pages, and it's quite dense.
It's very beefy. Again, they got a lot of good writers in there. They got Aaron back. They got everyone back.
Yep.
Captain America: Symbol of Truth, number 1. That's the Sam Wilson one.
Nice.
Can't wait to read that. Loved the Zero issue.
Yeah, it was great.
We got Jurassic League from Daniel Warren Johnson.
Yeah.
Got to check that out. That one looks like a lot of fun. What else we got going on here? Oh, Justice League versus the Legion of Superheroes, which was apparently still going on this whole time.
Yes, yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, we're on issue 3 or 4, yeah.
This is the third one, yes.
Yeah, it's tying in with the Great Darkness.
I had no idea. I'll be damned.
Well, the Great Darkness is a Legion villain.
Yeah, true enough. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Batman the Knight Compendium Edition, number 1. I guess the first issue of the Knight sold so well, they're releasing it in a new compendium.
Yeah, it'll be like a director's cut sort of thing, yeah.
That's cool. I definitely think it's worth it. Ooh, Blood Syndicate, number 1.
Oh, okay.
From, Jeffrey Thorne, who actually follows me on Twitter and is a great follow, everyone, if you haven't. He just wrapped up that Green Lantern story. Where John became the Emerald Knight, became a frickin' god, and now he's writing this.
Yep.
So he's definitely one of those hot new talents who, is really blowing up right now in a big way. So definitely check it out if you haven't.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically it. That's everything coming out this week that I know I'm stoked for.
Yeah, cool. A light week, thank God.
I know. Tell me about it. Ooh, Eric helping us out once again in a big way. Thank you, Eric. Oh, and Bland Man, too. We'll have to get to both of these. Really hope Gillen does good job with Moira.exe. Oh, that's fucking funny.
Yes.
In Judgment Day, because, well, I like Percy's X-Force. I feel the ball was dropped. Also, I've seen a lot of LGBT readers loved the movie, mostly on Twitter. Huh. That's interesting. I wonder why. Again, strong female characters, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess like America Chavez with like LGBTQ representation.
That's right. She has two moms in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, I'm sure you saw my tweet about this. Multiverse of Madness. The acronym is MOM.
Yep.
It was released on Mother's Day weekend. It's all about Wanda as a mother trying to get her kids back, and America Chavez has two moms. So this is officially the mommest Marvel movie ever made.
There's also that great line Wanda says to Strange about, like, what is being a mother if not being magical? Bringing... and I thought that was quite poisoning, given what's going on in America at the moment.
Little bit. Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, it's different, as the kids say.
Yeah.
It's real different. Bland Man, Earth 838, Joel loves Green Lantern 2011, Skinny Waller hates anything by Simone Palmiotti, Earth 838, Matt loves Snyder's Superman and King's Batman run. Truly, this is a dark multiverse. A dark multiverse indeed. But hey, if everything's backwards in that universe, maybe those things are good.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
How about that? Yeah, and in an infinite multiverse, they have to be good somewhere. That's the real thing about if I ever get multiversal powers. I won't be trying to get kids back or, take over the world. I'll just be trying to get good versions of movies that were bad.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. All those, like, the side of Superman and all that, that's, like, fixed points. So, like, they're constantly bad.
Damn, can't change fixed points in history. Shit. I hate that shit. And on that note, everyone, I think we could officially bring the show to a close. Thank you so much for joining us. I know it's a different day and a different time. We promise we'll try and fix it in the coming weeks there. But also, we might be changing days, but I'll let you know if that happens. I promise it won't be any later. Same time, just maybe a different day.
Yeah.
So there's my thing.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you, everyone. We'll be back again next time.
Cool. See ya.
Bye-bye.